y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a review of the Living Off the Land unit from Gather Round Homeschool. I have a lot that I want to try and cover in this video, so I am going to try and move as quickly as possible. We have just finished up the Living Off the Land unit from Gather Round. I have been incredibly excited about this unit and it did not disappoint, y'all. I have loved every minute of this unit. So I'm just gonna get into the review. I'm also going to share kind of our thoughts on the books that I got for this unit as well. I'm going to do my very best to try and remember to include those in my reviews as well, so you guys kind of get an update on how we liked the books, what worked, what didn't work, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna show you a couple of things that my daughter actually made for this unit that she's very excited about. First things first, let's talk about what my daughter has to say about this unit. Quick little blurb of information here. This is our, I don't know how many units we've done now, like 4 or 5. And my daughter is currently in the early reader level. She is almost 6. And so this is kind of her review here. I asked her what her thoughts were. These are the things that she liked about the Living Off the Land unit. So her favorite lesson was actually the clothing lesson, and that's because she got to sew in that lesson. I actually did a video, if you guys saw it, that was like all of the books and extras that I got for this. In that video, I shared a little sewing kit that I got off of Amazon, and so I'm gonna show you the things that she made with it. And yeah, I am very, very proud of her. She did a really, really great job. So this was the little, she says it's ice cream. I think it's a cupcake, but like a little just like stuffed cupcake, ice cream, whatever. Thought that was really cute. And then she made this cute little pizza purse. So it actually flips up. And we've been passing little notes to each other in her little pizza purse. And then she made I can't get it off the backpack now, but she made a little chocolate chip cookie keychain. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. So just really cute, really fun. And she actually did them by herself. They gave her 2 kind of practice things. It was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a donut, but they're just little cardboard, like printed pieces, not even cardboard, they're like little cardstock pieces just for her to practice the stitching with. And so she did those first. I kind of helped her get going with those, and then she did those 3 by herself just by following the instructions, you know, outside of a couple little things I kind of had to help her with, but for the most part she did all those. So she said that was her favorite. She loved that. She did say that there was less writing in this student notebook. And in my 1-week checkup, I shared with you guys about her vocab book. She really likes the vocab book. I have it here actually. And so I will kind of show you guys, but she's writing the vocabulary word. I wrote the definition, and then she wrote and drew a picture to go with it. So this one is grave, means very serious, and this is a rattlesnake. And so we just kind of went through every day. She would write one. Let's see. Okay, so we have here is chandler. It's a candle maker. So she drew a candle and colored it in. And then she had tallow, which is animal fat used to make candles. And so this is her animal. I would assume that's a pig, but you know. So this worked really, really well. She said that she really liked this. So that ended up holding up. And I do plan on continuing this with our next unit. She said she liked that even better than the seat work journals. So we're going to stick with it for a while. She likes it. I like it. It's all good. She also said that she really liked the MP3 for the teacher's guide. Again, if you guys watched the 1 week check-in, you know that we were enjoying it. That didn't change. It turned out really awesome. It was really cool to have like the different sound effects and all that kind of stuff. So really, really awesome. And then of course she said that she liked all of the extras, and I knew that she would, which is why I put a little bit more effort into this unit and trying to get some of those extras and do more of the hands-on things. So yeah, she enjoyed those. Looks like that little bit of extra work paid off. Now on to things that she said she didn't really like. There's only 2 of them. She said she thought the lessons were too long. And yeah. And then she didn't really care for writing the autobiography. So that was kind of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Project. So each unit kind of has its own project per se. And so this one was writing an autobiography. She said she didn't really like that. So shifting over to my thoughts and ideas with this unit, the things that I like, it's not a bad idea to know how to plant a garden. It's not a bad idea to know how to make candles. It's not a bad idea to have basic knowledge on framing up some sort of structure, whether that be with a hammer and nails and wood, or whether that be with palmetto leaves and sticks that you find in the yard. Just, there were a lot of hands-on things that I feel are useful to just kind of have in your back pocket, right? And so I really liked that. I liked that there was a lot of kind of life lessons through this unit. Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done in connecting things from the past, right? And past information and ways that they had adapted and created, and kind of how that has changed and transitioned over time into what we use now, and also how a lot of what we use today is really, it's the same. It may be, you know, we have a little bit more technology, or, you know, maybe we have kind of established safer, you know, rules and regulations and things, but at the end of the day, it's very similar to kind of a lot of the things that they started. And so I really like that. Of course, I really liked the MP3 as well. It was cool. It was fun. It gave me a break. There were cool sound effects. It was really, really enjoyable. I'm really hoping that more of those will come out for other units because it was awesome. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Really, really good. Oh, that's not all I had to say. I do have to say, I think the readings actually went faster, probably because I wasn't the one reading. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we had a lesson over 15 minutes, maybe not even up to 15 minutes. I feel like most of them were right around the 10, maybe 12 minute mark. Yeah, so I didn't think they were very long. But again, could have just been because I wasn't the one reading them. Also, in the teacher's guide, it follows. So the way that the teacher's guide is set up is that you essentially are following a family through their settlement in the West. And so it starts with the preparations and what you need. And, you know, now you're moving west. And then once you get to your homestead, now we are establishing kind of our house here. And so it goes through all of those steps and the things that needed to happen and processes and all that stuff. I thought that was a really, really good take on it. It was easy for my daughter to follow, and it was broken up in a way that made sense, right? So we're preparing for our journey. We go on the journey. We've arrived. What do we need to do first? And then what comes next? And then the next thing. And so I just thought it was done really, really well. Moving on to things that I didn't necessarily like in this one, there's really only kind of one negative, I guess you could say, that I could come up with. And that's just that I wish there was a little more spelling in the actual student notebook. I thought it was going to be sufficient, and luckily, this student notebook in the early reader is just CVC words. And so they were fairly easy for my daughter. I just wish maybe I would have paid a little bit more attention to that, and I would have actually prepared her for that. I would have done something a little bit more, because it was only 1 page per week of spelling. And to me, that just wasn't sufficient. But I could have looked through that, and kind of planned for that. That's where the seat work journal is nice, because you get that daily practice of those spelling words, which is what we have become used to. So moving forward, that's something that I'm going to pay a little bit closer attention to. And we likely will just add that into our vocab book. So once she has done vocabulary for the day, then I will just have her write down the spelling words or something. I don't know why. I'll kind of decide that as we move forward. But that is one thing that I just wish there was a little bit more spelling in it, because we didn't really get much of anything for spelling practice this go round. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna run through books here. I'm just gonna kind of hold them up, tell you our thoughts, feelings, plans, all of that stuff. So first up, I actually just got this about a week ago, and well, not quite a week ago. And I totally wish that I would have found it sooner, because it's really cool. We have enjoyed it. It is the Oregon Trail. This one is actually book number 3, The Search for Snake River. It's basically like the game, but in book form. So it's one of those, you read, a portion of the story, and then you get to a decision, and you have to choose between 2 things. If you choose one, you go to 1 page. If you choose another, you go to another page, and you go all the way along until something happens, or until you reach Snake River. The first time we went through it, we did not make it to Snake River. But this one was really cool. I want to keep this one out and maybe try another time or two. I think Dad would have fun with this too. So that one. Next up, If You're Not From the Prairie, is okay. That's it. It was okay. My daughter was a little confused by it, because she's like, well, but we're not from the prairie, and what does it mean if we're not? And so it was a little confusing for her. It's okay. Pictures are beautiful. Story, it's okay. Next up, A Little House Birthday. We like these. I don't think we actually read this one this go round, but we do like these, so not bad. Who Were the American Pioneers? We kind of went through this, but it was just too much reading. So we really just, I asked the question, or, I read the question and then would read like the first sentence or 2, and that was really it. So I assume this would probably be good if you've got a little bit older students, but meh. This is another one I actually just got, and we have not read it yet, but I think it will work really good for farming and food also, which we will get to eventually, because we're changing things up, and I'll talk about that in another video. But this is Preaching to the Chickens, and this is a story of young John Lewis. I thought if we didn't get to it with Living Off the Land, we definitely would get to it with Farming and Food. But if not, we can just read it anytime, because we just can. We have chickens also, so that's kind of a cool thing for my daughter. She'll kind of understand the whole chickens coming out and just staring at you and listening to you. And she has one in particular that she can pick up and pet and all that stuff. And so anyway, next up, Ox Cart Man. We liked this one. This was a really good one. I think this would even work for kind of fall time, but definitely went really well with this unit. We liked that one. Then we have The Farm That Feeds Us. We went through several pages of this. Really good. Highly suggest it. And we will keep this one. This will be one that we use for farming and food also. And really, you could even use it for seasons, because it goes through all of the seasons. You could use it for like seasonal study, anything. It's a really good one. Next up, Wagon Trains and Settlers. To be honest, don't think we picked this one up at all. There's a lot of good stuff in here. We just didn't get to it. We also were building raised garden beds and gardening a lot. We had some you know, stuff around the house. We were trying to do all the hands-on activities and stuff, so we didn't quite read as much this time. And then I just have 3 more of the little house books. We like these. This is a good series, and so yeah, these were good ones. We enjoy those. The 100-Year Barn. This was a good one as well. We did like this book. We read it once. I thought for sure we would read it more than that, but again, we didn't do a whole lot of reading this time, more so than we have in the past with other units. But yeah, for us to have so many books, we just did not get through as many. But I feel like we could use them in other things. I feel like, you know, they would be good for, like I said, Thanksgiving, just fall time in general, when we get to farming and food, stuff like that. So if we didn't use them this time, we'll use them another time. So the 100-Year Barn, we really liked that one. And then the last book is The Year at Maple Farm. This one was good too. I was a little kind of confused on like the reading, sort of, because you have this text up here that looks like this, and then you have this text here that looks like this. And so it just is a little confusing, but we read it just fine. It's a good one. I would consider getting other ones in the series. I think there's another one. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Oh, maybe it is Our Animal Friends, but that's not the one I was thinking. Anyways, it was pretty good. Like I said, this like heading type text here, and then each individual picture has like a different, that part was just a little strange, but it read fine, and we liked this one. That is it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.